one thing I knew since the beginning of my adult life is that I can relate to people, I can convince people, I can write and articulate well. And I think it's a pretty early realization of my strengths, and thus far I have played to those strengths. But as fate may have it, my father wanted me to become an auditor. He wanted me to become a chartered accountant because I was academically a bright child and he thought I would make a good one. So he made me enroll into ICWA, and after a year or so, 12-18 months into that stream, I realized my heart doesn't lie there. So I enrolled myself into a master's in business administration program, and I finished my master's in 2002, and that's when real estate happened. Real estate, as cliche as it may sound, also happened just by an accident. I was not planning to get into an industry as hard as real estate, because back in 2002 the business or the industry was not a very organized sector like it is now. The industry has gone through a paradigm shift in the past 2 decades, but back in 2002 it was quite fragmented, unorganized, and you got to deal with people and organizations extremely professional to quasi-professional to downright unprofessional. But it gave me a good foundation, because early on I had to start to learn, unlearn and relearn. And I realized 18 years into the business, I realized it's a continuous process. Learning and unlearning and relearning never stops. So 18 years into this industry and there's no turning back. My first job was with a company by name Chesterton, which is now LASALLE, JLL. I've been with real estate companies like DTZ, Cushman and Wakefield. My earlier assignment was with Knight Frank as city head, managing the real estate operations for Chennai. Right now, for the past 2 years, I've been with JLL, managing 3 business functions of real estate in JLL for sale. Personal learnings is be bold and go after what you want. That's extremely important. I always remember, I always quote Steve Jobs to my team whenever I speak. It's very, very important to identify where your passion lies. So be ambitious, be bold. Learnings are never ending and is a continuous process. There is some important learnings, personal learnings and professional learnings that I'd like to share. I'll start with personal learnings. Believe in yourself and be courageous. Never self-doubt on your capacity, especially for women. It's extremely important. Please do not downplay. Please do not have any self-doubt on your capability. Go after what you want. Be ambitious. Give 100% on everything that you do. It's extremely important to give 100% on everything you do, and most importantly is be passionate about what you do. You have to love what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be a very mundane profession, and it's not going to give you any career growth. I still remember, I always, the Steve Jobs Stanford talk etched in my memory. Steve Jobs said, work is going to occupy a very large part of your life, and the only way to be truly happy is to do great work. And the only way to do great work is love what you do. So it's extremely important to understand what you love. Until you find what you love, do not settle. This is an extremely important tip that I give to all aspiring career professionals, be it any stream of industry, real estate, anything. It's extremely important to find your passion. And it's okay to not know everything. Please always take this from your mind. You will not know everything. It's okay to not know everything. And during this entire life cycle of your career, don't think you will be successful. Failures will happen. You will fail. There is no going away from that. But don't wallow yourself in self-pity. Dust it off, get up and rise like a phoenix. Failures are the biggest teachers, and it will teach you to build resilience. I'm telling you, this is my hardest learned lesson. It will build your resilience. And never say die. I always, when I started my career, I always used to think never say die is good, but you have to be a little cautious about this attitude, because this may not be always the right attitude, because it can tactically get you stagnant, and it could become an apt example for insanity. So you must understand when to step back, reflect, recalibrate yourself, and move forward with a different approach or a different flavor. That's extremely important, and this tool must be kept sharper. And the only way that you can do is love what you do, take some quiet time for yourself, spend time with your family, read books, enhance your knowledge, and keep your mind sharper. As the effects of COVID-19 are felt over the world, real estate companies are being impacted in different ways depending on what region and what asset class. For example, retail and hospitality asset classes are hard hit, while industrial asset class is doing exceedingly well. And asset classes like office and residential real estate are trying to stay afloat. So we think in the short term, real estate will also be impacted by the pandemic like any other industry, and real estate industry's main focus will be to preserve capital and liquidity and keep their environment and people safe. That's the immediate priority for all real estate companies. But in the long term, we strongly believe real estate is here to stay, because it's one of the asset class which offers good risk adjusted returns compared to all other asset classes. So while short term impact will be felt, short term to medium term, and it could be medium term impact also, but long term we are expecting this industry to bounce back and emerge. So crises often lead to long lasting changes, and it's very, very important to embrace change. Change is the only constant factor in life. As we have been traveling through this, I mean, we're still battling the pandemic, and there are certain things that has changed in the industry also. For example, demand for flexi offices have been on the rise. Work from home is a new trend that the entire country, entire world is experiencing. So work from home will be here to stay. We do not know what kind of percentage will work from home once we return back to the normalcy or the new normalcy, but work from home trend is here to stay. It may be, the percentage may be 5%, 10%, 15%, but I think it is too early to over-index and give you a number. Work from home will continue to become a very blended option for traditional office spaces, and online retailing will do well. Now, I don't think people are venturing out for fear of contracting the virus. So physical shopping has considerably reduced, although in various parts of the country slowly unlocking is happening. So online retail will continue to flourish extremely well, and reverse migration is happening, which is because of work from home opportunities. A lot of people that we see in metros are moving to their hometowns or closer to their hometowns and villages. So reverse migration can give rise to housing demand in tier 2 and 3 cities, which is a good sign for residential real estate. So these are some of the trends that we are expecting to happen. Leadership is basically a skill, and agnostic of which gender you belong to. Leadership is very people-centric and not self-centric. It's not about who I am or what I am capable of. I may be a strong decision maker, I may be a good problem solver, I may be very persuasive, assertive, or may have a distinguished emotional intelligence. But how does that distinguish me as a leader? All those qualities are very important. I'm not denying. To become a thorough professional, all those qualities are very important. But does that make me a leader? No. A leader must be able to prioritize people. There is a time in your life where, in your professional journey, where you will metamorphose from being a manager, which is more focused on your professional growth, and professional enrichment to a leader where you will start focusing on your people with the value you provide to your team, your peers, your organization, and the community as a whole. In simple words, if I have to put, leadership is about driving a sense of purpose into individuals. You hold responsibility for having appreciation for every individual's aspiration and help them achieve those aspirations. Women leadership, where does women leadership come from? I think it's very important to bring in diverse skill sets into the boardroom. If you want to revolutionize your organization's performance, organizational goals, your revenues, your bottom line, it's important to revolutionize leadership. Some tips for the coming generation is try not to work like a man. Women possess a lot of innate leadership qualities like emotional intelligence. Work on them. Try not to work like a man. Women possess a lot of innate skills and have a very distinguished emotional intelligence. Try and work on them. Shun off your stereotypical threats from your mind. Be bold and don't be afraid to speak up. Understand that women are fundamentally different from men in their thought process, and they have an innate skill to help people learn to climb and scale the height. We are actually, that's our DNA. We're very pre-programmed for these skills to understand individuals' aspirations, thrive in chaos, mentor, and able to facilitate and support. The new take on an old saying could be, behind every successful person, there is a very capable leader who's a woman.